Okay, so more The Mandalorian and Grogu casting news. So, Jonny Coyne, who played the Imperial Warlord in The Mandalorian, for those who are unaware, he was the one in the Shadow Council who was talking about, um, let's see, how did he phrase it? About the opportunities to plunder the hyperspace lanes, which is what the opening crawl of Skeleton Crew pointed out. So that makes me wonder if there's going to be some Skeleton Crew crossover. Maybe not with the kids, but possibly with Jude Law's character or one of the other adults that we briefly saw so far in Skeleton Crew. But it also adds to the piracy aspect to the movie and the fact that Roto, I'm not sure how you say it, Roto the Hutt, is in it. So he's obviously somehow involved. So piracy is obviously going to be a big part. So now I'm leaning more towards it not being Boba who calls Mando for help. Sorry, my phone's ringing. For help with the Hutts, because that was part of Boba's problems in his Book of Boba Fett show. But it's going to be the New Republic who is going to ask Mando for help. And specifically, why are names just escaping me? Oh my god. But anyway, so yeah, it's not going to be officially the New Republic asking Mando for help, but Mando is going to help with this piracy issue. And I still think Boba is going to be involved because he's got a personal, I wouldn't say vendetta against the Hutts, but let's face it, the Hutts didn't try to attack him. It was a different conglomerate, but the Hutts were a part of it. So, obviously there's bad blood there. So, it wouldn't surprise me if Boba became a part of, not necessarily that Mando asks Boba for help, but that he's just involved because the Hutt's initial headquarters was in Mos Eisley. So it wouldn't surprise me if they just happen to come together because they're facing a common enemy. That it starts off with Boba having to deal with the Hutts, and then he ends up helping Mando and the New Republic deal with their piracy issue. Now, I don't know if they're going to feature anyone from Skeleton Crew, since this show's just started, and obviously it would be spoilery to mention, oh, this person is going to show up in the movie. If there's any casting news about someone from the Skeleton Crew, it won't be until that show ends. So it's going to be a while before, if we were to hear anything about that. But yeah, it's looking very likely that this is just the New Republic versus pirates with some bounty hunters thrown in, meaning Boba Fett and Mando. And of course, Grogu. Now, it's just a matter of how many people around them are going to be a part of this. And now, and it also depends on how wide-ranging this goes. Because the kids currently in Skeleton Crew seem to be in the far outer reaches without being part of the unknown regions where they are, but they're not familiar with what's going on further in. Whereas I don't know how clueless Boba Fett and Mando are about what's happening on Coruscant. Mainly because Mando is in contact with the New Republic. Well, unofficially. And Boba Fett is Boba Fett. I'm sure he has ways of finding out what's going on in the New Republic. So this is probably to further show, like Skeleton Crew is showing that the New Republic isn't an improvement over the Empire. The Mandalorian showed that the New Republic has plenty of issues. This is probably going to continue that trend. And that the Imperial Warlord has one foot in the piracy world and 1 foot into the Empire world. You know, the Imperial remnants. So this is going to be a piracy, Imperial remnant, versus the New Republic plus Mando, and I'm pretty sure Boba Fett and his crew, because again, that was a big thing in the book of Boba Fett, him versus other gangsters, other corporations that were trying to take Boba Fett's territory. So, even though he hasn't been officially announced, I would be seriously surprised if Boba Fett doesn't make an appearance. It doesn't have to be a big appearance, but I think it would be if Roto the Hutt is a sizable role. I would assume Boba Fett would be too. Let's see. What else do I have? I think that is all I have for this. Oh, and maybe, just maybe, we will find out the answer to whether Moff Gideon was killed at the end of season 3 of The Mandalorian, or if he's still around. And if it's the original Moff Gideon, because who knows, there might have been more clones than what Mando destroyed. We don't know. So yeah, there's a lot of questions about that might be answered. It's still unclear to me whether, I think there's going to still be a season 4 after the movie, that it's not in place of season 4, so who knows how much of these questions will be answered in the movie and how much is going to happen in season 4. But I believe that is all I have for this video. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one.